Welcome to Really American. I am Michael Hain. Boy, do I have some dish for you. This dish is sizzling. Former communications director Anthony Scaramucci has kind of like done a total 180 ever since he was an underling in the Third Reich, the fascist orange clown circus. He was one of many who was jettisoned very quickly by the Cheeto Mussolini. I mean, I don't know if the Mooch I don't think he accidentally told the truth during his time as communications director. I just think that he was taking attention away from Trumpy Dumpty, and that just can't happen. Anyway, the Mooch made an appearance on the Midas Touch network, and both of them were going back and forth discussing, who they believe they want Kamala Harris to win the most. Who wants Kamala Harris to win the most? Obviously, millions and millions and millions of Americans want Kamala Harris to win. But the very interesting thing that Mooch had to say is he thinks that nobody wants Kamala Harris to win more than Melania.
On the list. Okay, so let me just tell you something. I'm on the list. Now, I'm a little pissed off. I'm not high enough on the list for me. I really wish I was in the top 10. I'm not. I think I'm like 48th on the list. But just let me make something very clear to your viewers and listeners. Nobody wants this guy to win more than me. Maybe Melania. I mean, she hates him, but she probably is tired of all this nonsense. But nobody wants him to win more than me. So I'm giving you constructive stuff. What I don't want to do on your podcast or my own podcast is provide fluff. I want her pitch perfect at that debate. I want her imagery to look like it did at the Democratic National Convention. She's got the substance. She's got the chops, and she did a great job last night content-wise. But go ahead.
You're saying no one wants her to win more than you.
Nobody wants her to win more than me. Maybe Melania Trump. That could be the only person I think of, because she hates him. Like I judge the hatred of Donald Trump by the Melania standard. Like Ben hates Trump, but slightly less than Melania. My wife hates Trump as much as Melania. I've met one person that actually hates Trump more than Melania. That's General Milley. He's the only guy I've met so far that actually hates him more than Melania. You know what I mean?
Wait a minute. You're suggesting that Melania doesn't have warm feelings for Donnie? I mean, does this woman have warm feelings at all? By the way, why does she constantly look like she's perpetually bending spoons with her mind? I feel like she's kind of like a cross between a chameleon and a succubus. Something like that. Husband, I think it would be best if you lost. I think it would be best if you let me run away with either Putin or let me run away with Barry Obama. He's actually fit. He's good looking. And I think he actually has more money than you. Don't touch me. My hands are actually bigger than yours. Get away from me, husband. Who knows what those tiny hands have been? Get off me. I do not love you, husband. You don't have any more money. See, my hands are bigger than yours.
Come here, baby.
Get away from me. Oh, I just want to go shopping and be with Pootie. Get off me, tiny hands. Well, I think I'm certainly going to wind up on that list with Scaramucci after this episode. Now, while these comments are, kind of presented with a small dab of humor and sarcasm, the idea that Melania may not be too much into Trumpy Dumpty isn't far-fetched, and it raises some, pretty legitimate, serious questions, okay? Like, she's been mostly a private figure. Like, she didn't even move in with him right away, during the first fluke, because she wasn't expecting him to win. She was another one who was crying with pain and sorrow when Trumpy Dumpty just didn't win the popular vote, but somehow got in 2016, thanks to Russia. But yes, she was upset about it. I think the prenup ended or something. It was supposed to end and she was going to be scot-free. And now she's he's president now. What is she going to do? But she hung out in New York for what was it? 6 or 8 months. I forget what it was. You know, it was under the guise of, I have to be with Barrett and he has to finish school. Like, despite the fact that, like, DC, like, has the most prominent schools. Like, your kid is now a president's son. Like, you think you're going to just throw him in public school? Like, all the presidents are, like, you know, Obama's kids, they were obviously in some top-notch private schools in DC. But, you know, she held out because she was probably just, you know, trying. She was probably on, like, dating sites or whatever, and to see if she could get out of this thing during that time. But really, she doesn't speak in public. When she does speak, she rips off Michelle Obama's speeches. She was at that freakish clown show, the RNC. She was out that, but Hulk Hogan spoke. The guy who made a living pretending to be good at something that he was actually terrible at, you know, faking something, which is, you know, why you would endorse Trump, because both suck at the professions they're pretending to be good at. Anyway, she didn't speak. No, she just kind of, like, you know, made the rounds, did the, you know, like, obligatory appearance with him with the tampon on his ear. I guess, like, she, you know, Trump borrowed one of her maxi pads when he used that, so maybe she was slightly upset about that, you know, he used her maxi pad for his ear without asking. But really, like, no speeches, nothing. Could it be because I want to be with Ivanka? You know, I kid, but CNN looked into this, and there actually kind of is reportedly animosity behind the scenes between these two, Ivanka and Melania. Let's take a look at that.
Unprecedented describes most things about the Donald Trump administration. One unique element, the presence of the president's daughter, Ivanka Trump, and her relationship to First Lady Melania Trump. Glamorous stepmother and stepdaughter since 2005. But it was 2016 during the Trump presidential campaign.
My father, Donald J. Trump.
When the dynamic between the two women shifted to politics. Most times on the campaign trail,
Hello, Iowa.
Melania Trump not interested in doing traditional spousal appearances. So it was Ivanka Trump, as surrogate, who stepped into the role.
I just want to thank you, honey, because great job.
Staying on as the female face of the administration and the family after Trump became president.
This is the first U.S. government, all of government, approach to empowering women in the developing world.
Hello. Taking on as senior advisor some of the more traditional First Lady issues involving women, child care credit, and female entrepreneurship.
A real power named Ivanka. And she would call me and she would say, Daddy, you don't understand. You must do this. And I said, oh.
Creating an odd dynamic, switching off front seat, back seat as the two women in Trump's orbit. A relationship that one source with knowledge of the relationship says has created a, quote, cordial but not close dynamic, and at times friction.
Yeah, I mean, call me crazy, but I can sort of see why a wife might be upset with her husband that's constantly lusting after his own daughter, you know, and then giving that said daughter, who's totally unqualified and basically a hand purse designer, a bunch of major prominent positions in the United States government. Yeah, I can see where there might be some friction there. Anyway, I am Michael Hain. This is Really American. If you like our content, smash that subscribe button. Check me out on TikTok at Mike Hain Comedian. Talk to you later.